Rama, Hare Hare. Continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1. We have been hearing how Vasudeva is giving knowledge to Kamsa, that how death is a natural process, um, and the condition of the mind that gives us a, a, a next body, a body in the next life. So we continue reading. Tasmana kaya kasya chidroham
तस्मात् न कस्यचित्
तस्य चित्त
द्रोहम्
आचरेत् स तथा vidaha.
आचरेत् स
चरेत् स
तथा
तथा
विदः
विदः
Atmana shemam anivichan
आत्मनः क्षेमम्
आत्मनक्षेमम्
अनविच्छन्
अन्विच्छन्
drogdurve parato bhayam.
द्रोग्धो
द्रोदुर्वे
परतो
पतु
भयम्.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, since envious, impious activities cause a body in which one suffers in the next life, why should one act impiously? Considering one's welfare, one should not envy anyone, for an envious person must always fear harm from his enemies, either in this life or in the next. Instead of being inimical toward other living entities, one should act piously by engaging in the service of the Supreme Lord, thus avoiding a fearful situation both in this life and in the next. So Vasudeva is telling Kans, how the mind is and how we act. Based on that, we are going to get a next body. So why to engage in sinful activity? He's saying you're killing Devki, she's your sister. At the time of a marriage, it's going to give you surely sinful reactions. And then you will have to suffer. So instead of being envious of others, consider others' welfare. And in this way, one does not need to suffer. So Prabhupada is saying how to engage then, changing this envy to love, to service for the Lord. By serving the Supreme Lord, we are acting in the best welfare for each and every living entity. In this regard, the following moral instruction by the great politician Chanakya Pandit is very meaningful. Tyaja durjana samsargam bhaja sadhu samagamam kuru punyam ahoratram smara nityam anityatam. One should give up the company of devils, demons, and non-devotees, and one should always associate with devotees and saintly persons. One should always act piously, thinking that this life is temporary and not to be attached to temporary happiness and distress. So this is what Chanakya Pandit is saying. Chanakya Pandit is a great thinker, was a chief minister, very learned person. He's saying give up the association of non-devotees and seek the association of the devotees, of the sadhus. Why? Because in the association of sadhus, one will automatically engage in pious acts, in spiritual acts. And this life is temporary, so not to be attached to the temporary happiness and distress. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita 2.14 that the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance is due to our mental speculation. So happiness will come, it will go. Distress will come, distress will go. We need to be situated in service of Krishna. The Krishna consciousness movement is teaching all of human society this principle of becoming Krishna conscious and thus solving the problems of life forever. Tyakta deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. So always being situated in the service of Krishna, being attached to hearing about Krishna from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, being attached to chanting Hare Krishna. And in this way, one can go back home, back to Godhead. Is that okay? You all wanted to add anything? Okay. Esha tav anuja bala
Isha tav anujabala
Kripana putri kopama
Kripana putrika upama
Hantum na arhasi kalyanim
Hantum na arhasi kalyanim
Imam tvam dina vatsalaha.
Imam tvam dinavatsalah.
As your younger sister, this poor girl Devki is like your own daughter and deserves to be affectionately maintained. You are merciful, and therefore you should not kill her. Indeed, she deserves your affection. Saying she's, your sister, she's like your daughter. So have mercy on her. Shishuko vacha
Ishuka uvacha
evam sa samabhir bhede
Evam sasamabhibedhe
bodhyamano vidarunaha
Bodhyamano vidarunah
na nyavartata kauravya
Nanavartata kauravya
purushadan anuvritaha.
Purushadan anuvritaha.
Sukadev Goswami continued, O best of the Kuru dynasty, Kamsa was fiercely cruel and was actually a follower of the Rakshasas. Therefore, he could be neither pacified nor terrified by the good instructions given by Vasudev. He did not care about the results of sinful activities, either in this life or in the next. So he was very demoniac. He didn't care if he's gonna suffer sinful reaction. Nirbandam tasya tam gyatva
Nirbandham tasya gyatva
vichintya anakadundubihi
Vichintaya anandakadundubihi
praptam kalam prativyodhum
Praptam kalam pratibhyodham
idam tatra anavapadyata.
Idam tatra anavabhadyatah.
When Vasudev saw that Kams was determined to kill his sister Devaki, he thought to himself very deeply. Considering the imminent danger of death, he thought of another plan to stop Kamsa. Although Vasudev saw the imminent danger that his wife Devaki would be killed, he was convinced of his welfare because at his birth the demigods had played drums and kettle drums. He therefore attempted another way to save Devaki. Anakadundubi. When he was born, the demigods had played the drums and kettle drums in the sky. So he was confident. He said, let me try once more. Kans is not listening to my good counsel. He's not scared of sinful reactions. He doesn't want to understand any philosophy. Let me try something else. Sometimes there are people, right, we may come across and then they may say, oh, well, I don't care about sinful reactions. We may try to give them good counsel. But then, well, people may say, well, I don't care about these instructions. Mrityur buddhi mattapohyo
Mrityu buddhimata apohyo
yavad buddhi balodayam
Yavad buddhi palodayam
Yadi asau na nivarteta
Yadi
Yadi asana nivartayita
na aparadosti dehinaha.
na
na
aparadosti
aparadohinaha.
dehina.
As long as he has intelligence and bodily strength, an intelligent person must try to avoid death. This is the duty of every embodied person. But if death cannot be avoided, in spite of one's endeavors, a person facing death commits no offense. It is natural for a person facing untimely death to try his best to save himself. This is one's duty. Although death is sure, everyone should try to avoid it and not meet death without opposition, because every living soul is by nature eternal. So Vasudeva is considering that it is the duty of everyone to try best to avoid death if it is coming untimely. Natural course, that is different, but here it's coming for Devaki, it's just coming in a very untimely manner. She's just gotten married, her life is just beginning, she's a young girl. Yeah. So he's trying his best to save her. So because death is a punishment imposed in the condemned life of material existence, the Vedic culture is based on avoiding death. Tyakva deham punarjanma naiti. Everyone should try to avoid death and rebirth by cultivating spiritual life and should not submit to death without struggling to survive. One who is not trying to stop death is not an intelligent human being. So Prabhupada is explaining that we should all try to avoid death and rebirth. And the way of doing that is hearing about Krishna, chanting Krishna's names. One should not just submit to death because we are the soul, after all. We are eternal. Because Devaki was face to face with imminent death, it was Vasudev's duty to save her, as he was trying his best to do. He therefore considered another way to approach Kamsa so that Devaki would be saved. Here he's really thinking, how can I save her? I've given him such good counsel, so much knowledge. Let me try something else then. Pradaya mrityave putran
Pradaya mrityave putran
mochaye kripanam imam
mochaye
Muchaye
kripanam
kripanam
sutame yadi jayeran
sutam
sutame yadi jairan
mrityurvanamriyate chet.
mrityurvanamrita chet
Viparyayo vakim na syad.
viparyayo vakyam
vakyam
tasyam
nasya
Gatir dhatur duratyaya.
gati
gatyeta
dhatu duratayaya
Upasthito nivarteta.
upasthito
upasthito nivarteta
Nivrita punar apate.
nirvitah
nivritah
punarapati.
punarapati.
Vasudev considered, by delivering all my sons to Kamsa, who is death personified, I shall save the life of Devaki. Perhaps Kamsa will die before my sons take birth, or since he is already destined to die at the hands of my son, one of my sons may kill him. For the time being, let me promise to hand over my sons, so that Kamsa will give up this immediate threat. And if in due course of time Kamsa dies, I shall have nothing to fear. Vasudev wanted to save the life of Devaki by promising to deliver his sons to Kamsa. In the future, he thought, Kamsa may die, or I may not beget any sons. Even if a son is born and I deliver him to Kamsa, Kamsa may die at his hands, for by providence anything could happen. It is very difficult to understand how things are managed by providence. Thus, Vasudev decided that he would promise to deliver his sons to the hands of Kamsa in order to save Devaki from the imminent danger of death. So Vasudev is thinking, let's see what happens, Maybe Kamsa may just die before my children are born. Maybe I have no sons. Or maybe really, as just now, it has been predicted, it has been destined that my son is going to kill Kamsa. Maybe really that will happen. For now, at least, let me save Devaki's life. And so he's deciding, okay, I'm going to give my sons to Kamsa. Agner yatha daruviyo gayo gayor.
अग्नेर्यथा दारुणवियोगयोर्
Adrishtato jnananim mitam asti.
अश्नन्त
Adrishtato
अन्यासननिमित्तम्
jnanam
अस्ति
asti.
Evam hi jantor apidur vibhavaya.
एवं हि जन्तोरपि
Api
दुर्विभावयः
Sharira samyoga viyoga hetuhu.
sharira samyoga viyoga hetu.
When a fire, for some unseen reason, leaps over one piece of wood and sets fire to the next, the reason is destiny. Similarly, when a living being accepts one kind of body and leaves aside another, there is no other reason than unseen destiny. When there is a fire in a village, the fire sometimes jumps over one house and burns another. Similarly, when there is a forest fire, the fire sometimes jumps over one tree and catches another. Why this happens, no one can say. One may set forth some imaginary reason why the nearest tree or the house did not catch fire, whereas a tree or house in a distant place did. But actually, the reason is destiny. So Vasudeva is saying, sometimes there's a fire, one house, and sometimes the wind may carry the burning substance to another house, which is not so nearby, which is not right next to it, but maybe a little distance away, or maybe even to the next near, even to the one which is nearby. So Vasudeva is saying this is due to destiny. We may think, oh, because of this or because of that, but the reason is destiny. This reason also applies to the transmigration of the soul, by which a prime minister in one life may become a dog in the next. The work of unseen destiny cannot be ascertained by practical experimental knowledge, and therefore one must be satisfied by reasoning that everything is done by supreme providence. So we are taking up one body. This is also given to us by destiny. And then one day we have to give up this body and we will be forced to take another body. And that is also being done by destiny. Any comments? Did anyone want to add anything? Any questions? Okay, so let's read on then. Evam vimshyatam papam
एवं प्रिंशयं तं पापं
yavad atmani darshanam
यावत् आत्मनि
Atmani darshanam
pujayam asa vaishaurir
पूजयामास
pujayam
वैष्णवे
asaveshwari
Bahumana Purasaram.
Bahumana Purasaram.
After thus considering the matter as far as his knowledge would allow, Vasudeva submitted his proposal to the sinful Kamsa with great respect. So he's being respectful also. He's going to tell Kamsa what he has decided. We can see because he knows that Kamsa is so fickle. He's treating him with great respect. Let's see, is this very long? Not very long.
Not very long. You can finish it.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Prasanna Vadan Ambojo.
Prasanna Vadan Ambhojo
Nishamsam Nirapatrapam.
Nirishtam
Nirishams
Nirapatrapam
Manasa Duyamanena.
Manasa
Manasad
Duyanena
Vihasan Idam Abravit.
Vihasan
Vihasan
Idam
Idam Abravit.
Abravit.
Vasudev's mind was full of anxiety because his wife was facing danger. But in order to please the cruel, shameless, and sinful Kamsa, he externally smiled and spoke to him as follows. Cruel, shameless, and sinful. Vasudev was actually full of anxiety. He didn't know what's going to happen. Is Khan's going to kill my wife? But externally, he's speaking, smiling. He's smiling and speaking to Kams. Sometimes one must act dupliciously in a dangerous position, as Vasudev did to save his wife. The material world is complicated, and to execute one's duties, one cannot avoid adopting such diplomacy. Vasudev did everything possible to save his wife for the sake of begetting Krishna. This indicates that one may act dupliciously for the purpose of saving Krishna and his interests. According to the arrangement already foretold, Krishna was to appear through Vasudeva and Devaki to kill Kamsa. Vasudeva, therefore, had to do everything to save the situation. Although all the events were pre-arranged by Krishna, a devotee must try his best to serve the purpose of Krishna. Krishna himself is all-powerful, but it is not that a devotee should therefore sit idly and leave everything to him. This instruction is also found in Bhagavad Gita. Although Krishna was doing everything for Arjuna, Arjuna never sat down idly as a non-violent gentleman. Rather, he tried his best to fight the battle and be victorious. So Vasudeva is full of anxiety. He's speaking to Kamsa, trying to please him. Prabhupada is explaining that although a devotee knows that Krishna is in charge, that Krishna will take care, that it's not that devotee does nothing. No, he tries his best. Prabhupada is explaining that Vasudeva, he knew. Otherwise, he could have said, oh, well, why should I do anything? Anyway, it has been destined. My child is going to kill Kamsa. Let me just not do anything. Of course, my wife will be saved. Otherwise, how will I have a child from her? So let me not do anything. No, but he's trying his best. Prabhupada is also giving the example Arjuna tried his best. Although it was because Krishna is on his side, he won. But Arjuna didn't just sit down. Krishna told him, no, you fight. You be my instrument. Nimitta matram. Become an instrument in the hand of the Lord. Similarly, the Sankirtana movement is going on by the will of Lord Chaitanya. We simply have to be instruments in the hand of Lord Chaitanya to continue this Sankirtan movement, to spread the Sankirtan movement as much as we can, to give Krishna to everyone, so everyone can revive their relationship with Krishna to the best of our ability. stop here. Did you all want to add anything?
So he's really trying hard.
Yeah. Trying hard. He's going to give up his children now.
Yeah,
Not an easy decision, right?
yeah, not easy. And he's thought so many things, like, okay, this doesn't work, if this doesn't work, if this doesn't work, if this doesn't work, but somehow something will work.
Yeah.
And he also knows, like how we read that, he also knows that how Kans is such a cruel man. He's so much full of sin, and he knew everything, but still
Yeah.
he was trying to
Amen.
find a way to please him somehow, convince him not to kill Devki.
Yeah.
And it also says, right, in times of danger or something where like this circumstance, you can act in duplicity. Means like diplomatically
Diplomacy.
also, right?
Yes.
Diplomacy,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It said you can act diplomatically because the world is like that. World is full of dangers.
Mm.
And to save Krishna, Vasudeva is trying all his best. So Prabhupada is saying in giving Krishna to others and trying to spread Krishna consciousness, one acts diplomacy and diplomatically sometimes. But
And
also
actually,
when
we come to
one's life
see.
is in danger. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. No, please continue.
No, I was just saying when one's life in danger, then one has to try all these, try
Mm.
one's best. Sorry, you were
Yeah.
saying something?
Yeah, actually, if you come to see, actually, he's doing two things. He's trying to save Devki, and he's trying to save Kamsa from doing such a sinful act, killing Devki, his
Yeah,
sister,
yeah,
right? But
yeah,
then Kamsa is not at all. He
yeah.
doesn't want to
That's
give
the
it.
first thing he told them, that women should be
Yes.
protected, killing them is sinful. Here comes us not ready to listen. So sometimes we may also, like somebody may try to give us good counsel, but we are really not ready to listen.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we are giving good counsel to somebody, but they are really not ready to listen. Yeah.
Yeah, it says here, na, this indicates that one may act duplicitously. So that means duplicate, like to do.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Yeah, he's
dangerous
trying his
position.
best to save his wife. Material world is complicated, and to execute one's duties, one cannot avoid adopting such diplomacy. What to do? Such are the affairs of this world, right? So we'll continue reading tomorrow.
Yeah.
Stop here for today.
Hare Krishna.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
Yeah.
Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so